Hello everyone, back again with movie and tune recap. Today, I'm going to explain an American supernatural horror film from 2024, titled The Painted. Spoilers ahead, so watch out and take care. The movie opens in 1968, introducing Clive Franco, a wealthy practitioner, as he comforts his ailing wife, Anna, who is possessed by a mysterious entity. Determined to save her, Clive retreats to a private room where he opens a book and begins a summoning ritual known as the Painted, intending to draw out the entity possessing his wife. After arranging the required items, including Anna's ring, which he places on the table, Clive begins the ritual. At first, nothing happens, and he starts to lose hope. Suddenly, strange phenomena occur, and an image begins to form on a canvas. The painting reveals a blonde-haired succubus, and before Clive can destroy it, the figure comes to life and possesses him. The next day, Anna is freed from the entity but soon realizes that Clive is now possessed, and he kills her. 5 months later, the story shifts to the Addams family: Adam, a carpenter, his wife Evelyn, who is Anna's cousin, their college-aged son Nelson, their teenage daughter Janice, and their 8-year-old daughter Lucy. In his workshop, Adam hides a secret collection of inappropriate magazines from his wife. It is also shown that Janice does not get along with Lucy, while Lucy shares a close bond with Nelson. One day, Evelyn receives word from a lawyer that she has been named executor of Clive's estate following the deaths of her cousin and her husband. Although Adam is excited about the potential financial benefits, Evelyn is reluctant, as she was never close to the Francos and does not want to handle the responsibility alone. The family cancels their summer plans, takes the children along, and moves into the estate. With appraisers expected the following week, they decide to catalog the property, and after dividing responsibilities, they begin their work. While exploring, they notice walls adorned with ancestral portraits and eventually come across a painting of the same blonde-haired succubus seen at the beginning. Finding it disturbing and concerned that Lucy might see it, Evelyn asks Nelson to take the painting to the attic. In the room assigned to Janice, she discovers a disturbing painting of a barber on the wall, and when she tries to remove it, she finds that it will not come off. That night, Adam attempts to be intimate with Evelyn, but she is not interested. He then goes to his car to retrieve his hidden magazine, and while looking through it, he suddenly hears faint whispers and notices a figure in one of the rooms. However, when he checks, no one is there, and while Janice sleeps peacefully, an unseen presence is shown cutting her hair. The next morning, she wakes to find part of her hair cut off and immediately blames Lucy. Although Lucy denies any involvement, Janice refuses to believe her. Later, Adam and Nelson go to the market to buy food. While cleaning a mirror, Evelyn notices that a woman's face in one of the paintings appears to be moving on its own. She then hears Lucy giggling and follows the sound, seeing what appears to be Lucy entering the basement. However, to her shock, she finds Lucy outside instead, and when Evelyn goes down to the basement, she sees cupboard doors banging on their own. Inside, she discovers Adam's hidden magazines, and when he returns home, she confronts him, accusing him of infidelity. Adam defends himself, explaining that he has been under stress due to clients breaking contracts, lack of intimacy in their marriage, and concerns about Nelson's college admission. On the second night, Janice hears the sound of scissors cutting and decides to cover the barber painting. Later, in bed, Evelyn tells Adam about the moving image she saw, but he dismisses her concerns. It is then revealed that the barber in the painting is responsible for cutting Janice's hair, although she still believes Lucy is to blame. Suddenly, the sheet covering the painting falls off, and the barber is no longer visible in the picture. Terrified, Janice hides in the closet, but she is suddenly grabbed from behind by the barber, and her scream wakes everyone in the house. Janice tells her parents about her encounter with the barber, but Adam dismisses it as a nightmare. Insisting that it was real, Janice watches as Adam and Nelson remove the painting from the wall, and Adam then instructs everyone to return to bed. Later, while using the bathroom, Adam hears faint whispering and assumes it is Evelyn, only to find her asleep. As the whispering continues, he realizes it is coming from the attic, and when he goes there, something suddenly throws a candle at him. After lighting it, Adam asks who is there but receives no response. Then he notices something in the darkness. The next morning, Evelyn wakes from a nightmare, while Adam regains consciousness in the attic with his shirt removed. After noticing something unusual about the painting of the blonde-haired succubus, Adam covers it and secures it with a rope. Later, in the same private room where Clive performed the summoning ritual at the beginning of the film, Evelyn discovers the ritual book. That night, as the family sits down for dinner, the covered painting in the attic begins to move on its own. The following night, unable to sleep, Adam returns to the attic and finds that the rope tied around the painting has come loose. At the same time, Evelyn hears faint footsteps and follows the sound, and to her shock, she sees a colonial-era boy running in and out of a painting. She initially assumes it is her imagination, but when she looks again, the painting comes to life and startles her. She chases after the boy, who leads her to the basement and pushes her down the stairs. Meanwhile, Nelson wakes up in his room to find all the paintings on the walls melting. As he moves closer to examine them, his face is suddenly pulled into one of the paintings. Hearing a faint thudding sound through the walls, Adam, who is still in the attic, picks up on Nelson's muffled cries and rushes to his room. With great effort, Adam manages to pull Nelson's face out of the wall, and the painting returns to normal. Realizing that Evelyn is missing, the family sets out to find her. At the same time, Evelyn regains consciousness in the attic, where she briefly sees a mysterious figure that disappears when she shines a light toward it. The family eventually finds Evelyn in the basement, and they quickly leave the estate, returning to their old home. Once back, life begins to stabilize. Adam and Evelyn reconcile, while Janice apologizes to Lucy for her earlier accusations, and the two begin to bond. Still suspicious about the supposed murder-suicide of Clive and Anna, Evelyn reveals that Clive had been attempting a summoning ritual on the night of their deaths. Determined to understand what really happened, Evelyn takes the summoning book, and begins her own investigation. To prove she is truly sorry, Janice takes Lucy to the basement, where they have built a play area with large box forts. While Lucy is alone, she sees the colonial boy again, who signals for her to follow him. Suddenly, the boy turns aggressive, chasing and dragging her. Hearing Lucy's screams, Janice rushes in and manages to help her. To their shock, they discover the painting of the blonde-haired succubus in the basement, and they report it to Adam, who assures them he will take care of it. After studying the summoning book, Evelyn traces its origin to an archivist named Leonora Pettingill. When she meets her, Leonora reveals a hidden collection of similar spiritual paintings in her cellar. She explains that the book is a surviving manual used for summoning rituals, designed to bind the spirits of the dead into paintings, allowing them to achieve a form of immortality and coexistence. However, the practice was permanently abandoned in the 1920s due to the emergence of malevolent entities whenever the rituals went wrong or promises were broken. Leonora also reveals that the Franco family were among the most devoted and secretive practitioners of this art, believing that becoming one of the painted meant one could never truly die. Meanwhile, Adam conducts his own research and discovers that the succubus was once a cosmopolitan heiress named Cassandra Dubray, who had a connection with Yves Franco, Clive's great-great-grandfather. Back at home, Adam burns Cassandra's painting, but Evelyn warns him that it will not solve the problem. Cassandra will keep returning no matter what they do or where they go. Adam shares his findings with Evelyn, revealing that since Cassandra's death, many of Yves's descendants have suffered mysterious deaths, suicides, and disappearances. To break the curse, they must obtain a personal belonging of Cassandra and use it to complete a ritual that will exorcise her. Evelyn believes they might find such an item in a hidden cellar beneath the original manor, which was destroyed by fire in 1907, a fire that also killed Yves. Fearing for their lives, Adam and Evelyn inform their children of their plan, assuring them they will return soon, before driving back to the estate. The following day, Cassandra's painting mysteriously reappears on a canvas in Nelson's room, and suddenly comes to life and possesses him. Upon arriving at the estate, Adam begins removing the paintings from the walls, fearing that Cassandra may use them against them. Meanwhile, Evelyn discovers the secret cellar, where she finds several artworks and a locked chest, and after opening it, she retrieves Cassandra's pendant. As strange phenomena intensify throughout the estate, the spirits of Ever's deceased relatives begin appearing within the paintings. Suddenly, Evelyn becomes trapped inside the cellar, and at that moment, all the paintings in the estate come to life and begin attacking both Evelyn and Adam. After a brief struggle, Adam manages to fight off the painting confronting him and rushes to the attic to help Evelyn. He opens the attic slightly, reaches out his hand, and Evelyn grasps it as he pulls her to safety. Afterward, Adam gathers all the paintings in the estate and takes them outside, where he sets them on fire, and the couple then leaves the estate. On their way home, Evelyn reveals what she learned through a vision. Ever was the most gifted spiritualist of his time when he met Cassandra at a gala he hosted. The two fell in love and promised to elope together. However, in 1898, Cassandra unexpectedly became terminally ill and pleaded with Ever to turn her into a painted. He was meant to prove his undying love by taking his own life to join her, but he was too cowardly to fulfill his vow. After binding Cassandra's soul into a painting, he abandoned her to an eternal existence and went on to marry another woman. As a result of this betrayal, Cassandra cursed Ever and all his descendants. Adam concludes that she became a demon, a succubus who possesses men and compels them to kill the women in their lineage. At home, the possessed Nelson carries Lucy to the basement while Janice tries to stop him. When Adam and Evelyn arrive, Janice immediately informs them that Nelson is possessed and attempting to harm Lucy. After a struggle, Adam manages to force the door open, rescuing Lucy before Nelson can hurt her, and they lock Nelson in the basement. Evelyn instructs the girls to go to Steve's police station and warns them not to return home under any circumstances. Meanwhile, she and Adam quickly gather the items needed for the ritual and set everything up, and at the same time, Nelson escapes from the basement and tampers with the house lights. With everything prepared, the couple begins the ritual, repeatedly chanting words from the summoning book, but nothing happens. They soon realize that, to manifest a spirit, a willing participant is required. However, Ever's spirit refuses to cooperate. Adam secretly replaces Cassandra's pendant with a lighter and then confesses that he had an affair with the succubus, Cassandra, while staying at the estate. Accepting responsibility, he declares that it should be him to make the sacrifice. After asking Evelyn not to hate him, he stabs himself, becoming the willing participant needed for the ritual. Grieving her husband's death, Evelyn summons Adam's spirit and becomes a painted to confront Cassandra. Nelson is briefly freed, but Cassandra repossesses him and attacks Evelyn out of self-envy. Meanwhile, Janice senses that something is wrong, and she and her sister rush back home. As they arrive, Janice attempts to stop the possessed Nelson but is pushed aside. Thinking quickly, she throws a lighter, scorching Cassandra's image on the canvas and destroying her. This act frees Nelson from possession, restoring him to normal, and the family embraces and mourns Adam's sacrifice. Later, Adam's painting is taken to Leonora's basement for safekeeping, and in a post-credit scene, the barber's painting is shown. Okay guys, that's all the recap about The Painted from 2024. Thanks for watching, see you again in the next video.